graduating. So
they're not disappointed, though.
No, they're not disappointed, but the fans are disappointed because it would be nice to see those three come up and some other players in that program continue to grow.
Back to what we were talking about with the playoffs. Before we took the break, I was talking about Hatboro Horsham. They're playing Cheltenham. They're playing teams of caliber that are not the caliber that in every week after week. You've got Council Rock. You've got CB East. You've got North Penn. You've got Norristown, who's very strong this year. You've got very strong teams every week that could sneak up and bite you. And,
well, I know, you're right there, and I think the National Conference is definitely the best conference in the state of Pennsylvania. It's got to be, I think. But I'm gonna take a vote here. I'm not going to say Hatboro Horsham's going to beat West, but I think they'll make it a game, and I think they'll stay in that game till deep into the second half with them. I think West will come out as a victor, but I think they'll know that they'll have been in a tough game. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with you, Marty. I think that it will be a good game, and you know, I hope that it's a good game. You know, you don't want to go see a playoff game and see a blowout. You know, the fans don't want to see it. The players don't want to be a part of it. I think that because we haven't seen that much of Hatboro Horsham, although Coach Pettin and his crew sure have been scouting them, I look for some good competition into the second half. But I look for West to turn it on at the end of the win, and I hope that they get it straightened out with the penalties like you talked about, Bob.
I give Hatboro Horsham a chance only because of one reason and one reason only, and that's Dennis Steinley. Dennis Steinley has been and is one of the best coaches in the area.
Yes,
you know, Mike Pettin is a super coach, but Steinley's been around just about as long. He's taken Hatboro Horsham to the heights. He knows what it's like to beat CB West.
Yeah.
He knows what it's like. He has been on the other sideline and winning games. That said, I think it's a close game for a while. I think that West wears them down. I think the final score is somewhere in the neighborhood of around 28-14.
Sounds about right. You know, Hatboro Horsham 5 years ago won the 3A championship. At that time, they were 3A. They won the district championship. That was the time when they did not move on to the state playoffs. They only went to the district playoffs. State playoffs, of course, instituted since then.
I think for a number of factors, they're not really going to keep it as close. Kind of stepping out of character and pulling a Bob Friedman, I think that it's pretty much going to be a game that Hatboro just has too many things to prepare for. I see the game maybe in the second quarter starting to get out of hand, maybe even the end of the first, and I don't see him coming back. I think the fact that a lot of the reasons that Bob mentioned about the fact that they don't necessarily get a great opportunity to prepare against that caliber of an opponent, and secondarily, it's great for a sophomore quarterback to be able to play and excel in some circumstances, but when it's playoff time and you've got a sophomore quarterback taking snaps, he had a great game last week, and they did all they had to beat a Methacton team, which is a good team, but I just don't think that caliber of play and being a sophomore quarterback is going to hold up against a team of the strength of a Central Bucks West.
You might note that John is also a graduate of Central Bucks West, you know. So.
Yeah. And getting back to where we started at the beginning of the show, let's not forget, of course, our soccer guys. And best of luck now to Council Rock and Penn Ridge as they take on their opponents tonight. And hopefully they will meet Saturday for a berth in the state semifinals. That would be tremendous.
And, of course, best of luck to LC as well as they go up against Upper Perk.
Yeah.
At Upper Perk, that's a lot to do there. They've got to go out to Upper Perk and beat a 9-1 team. They're 9-1 also.
Yeah.
I love what LC showed. DeMar DeLira, as we've discussed week after week, is a great passer, but against Phoenixville this past weekend, he had 50 yards on the ground on 6 rushes, so he showed another dimension to his game.
Again,
which is going to help him.
One of the finest coaches in the area, Jim Algeo.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
is. And the Algeo and DeMar DeLira family just keep pumping out the talent.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you know,
Someone should investigate what's going on.
Tremendous, I'll tell you. But, you know, we had a great show tonight, guys. Tremendous show for John Price and Dan Taylor and Bob Friedman. I'm Marty Katz. We want you to stay tuned and watch the outstanding CB West, CB East game from this past weekend. We know you'll find it exciting, and we want you to join us again next week when we'll be discussing, hopefully, further on into the state playoffs in both soccer and football for our teams. So for my friends here tonight, we wish you a good week, and take care, everybody.
28 years the Bucks and Patriots have teed it up. In that time, many things have changed. We've gone from love beads to leisure suits to designer jeans and back to retrofit. And still, the game has been the game. We've gone through 6 presidents and 4 governors. Man has walked on the moon and Mars has become a suburb of Earth. And still, the game has been the game. It's been played at War Memorial Field and at Del Val, and it's come back to War Memorial. It's been rained on, snowed out, played in cold so numb that it would so cold that it would numb an Eskimo. Until 1994, it was a Thanksgiving staple. Then playoffs changed everything. And still, the game has been the game. It's seen over 1,000 young men take the field for the red, white, and blue, and the black and gold. Over 1,700 minutes of football has been played, most of them memorable, some unforgettable. And still, the game is the game. There are only 2 constants, 2 things that have not changed. One is Mike Pettin, who leads his Bucks out on the field for the 29th time. The other is that no matter what their records may be, the game is still the game. Central Bucks East, Central Bucks West football, the 29th renewal of the biggest backyard battle in eastern Pennsylvania, and it's coming up next right here on SCT. Hello again, everyone. Bob Friedman along with Tommy White here at War Memorial Field on a wet, warm 1st of November. It is the game, Tommy. It's East-West. What more can you say?
Always a great matchup. We look for the 2 running backs tonight, named Dave Armstrong and Brian Scott. Both come in about 20 yards apart. 12:57 for Dave Armstrong, 12:37 for Brian Scott. And it should be a very interesting game as these 2 premier running backs in Suburban 1 will tee it up. And hopefully the one with the best night comes out victorious.
You see Larry Green there. He's in his 2nd tour of duty as head coach of the Patriots, who will be the home team for the this year's game. You see a sea of red, white, and blue in front of us, and a lot of slickers, and that's something we need to talk about. The weather is going to be a factor. Besides the fact that it rained all day, it is not raining now. The winds are supposed to pick up quite a bit. It is a warm night. It is a night that's susceptible to cramping. Temperatures are in the 60s right now, and not expected to get much below 60 degrees tonight.
Yeah, the weather's a factor. Right now it's not raining. However, they're calling for showers tonight. Right now, they play the game the way it is. The field is wet. You could see guys slipping down, trying to make that cut upfield. Again, the ball's going to be wet. That could be a factor. Guys having trouble holding on to the ball. Again, both teams have to deal with those 2 conditions. It's not going to favor one or the other. So that's one thing they're going to definitely have to deal with.
Well, as you look out in the middle of the field, you see the brown and you see the shiny brown of the field. That field, of course, with soccer being played on it, football being played on it, all year long for East and West. That field, as you can imagine, has been worn down. However, there has been a lack of rain up until the past week, which could keep the field at least somewhat less sloppy than it has been in years past. Nonetheless, right where West is coming out, and they're all meeting right about 35-yard line, it is very moist. Same thing with the 35 on the other side. Those are going to be problems. When they get inside the 30s, things get a little bit better. It's going to be for East an uphill battle. It has been a long season. There's no question about it. A very questionable loss last week to Ben Salem in a game that they came just 12 yards shy of pulling a big victory out. It's been a tough year for the Patriots. There's no 2 ways about it. For the Bucks, well, they're gearing up for the playoffs. Again, as I said in my tease in the beginning, the game is still the game no matter what.
Well, it's a neighborhood battle. The kids have played in the youth leagues together. They've gone through the junior high programs together. They get to East and West, and this is the big day. This is the day where you say, hey, I played against you in that big East-West game. Now, East hasn't had a lot of success. They've only won 2 times and had a tie in the 28 meetings prior to this, but you never know. And the thing that there is, I know Mike Pettin is saying to himself tonight, the guy that scares him the most and probably the premier back in this whole league is Brian Scott. He comes out and has a monster game. It could be a very interesting night for the Bucks.
And as we say farewell to the Armstrong era, we say, hey, one more year of Brian Scott, who, as you say, is and could be and will be the premier running back in the area. Brian has had a great year. They're not that far apart in yardage. Of course, Dave Armstrong, this is his final game, at least regular season, as a Buck. And he will be moving on to the University of Michigan. A great career. We saw him as a 9th grader. We had the pleasure of watching him 4 years. I'd like to say we've seen the boy grow, but he was a monster when he was in 9th grade. 6'4", 220 pounds then. He's just built onto his bulk, and he's just huge. He's a tremendous young player, a tremendous young man. As the Bucks of CB West come onto the field, they are the visiting team. They come on first. They will go to the far side. CB East waiting to be introduced. For East, they have some weapons, but they have been decimated by injuries. The latest injury to Ryan Luganville, their wide receiver. We do not believe that he will play tonight, Tommy.
He won't play. Manny Stepakis won't play, one of their captains who tore an ACL about 2 weeks ago, and that's a big loss for them. You're going to see some young guys, Campbell, R.J. White, and Taylor get a shot to fill in that spot. Bevavino, who has a bad wheel, he's going to try to go at fullback, so they have been banged up. But again, the adrenaline's going to be flowing tonight. Hopefully they're going to be able to go on that.
The pressure is on Justin Habel. And his counterpart, Corey Potter. They have not thrown a lot of passes. Both have been accurate when needed, but in West's case, they haven't had to throw the ball that terribly much. They've had just such a great running attack for them. And for East, of course, their feature back, Brian Scott, has done the bulk of the work. But Habel may be tested tonight because, as you know, West has a way of bottling up running backs.
You see Manny Stepakis coming there on his crutches, and I know it's a tough day for him not being able to play his senior year, but he's here supporting the team. And let's go back to what you were saying. Exit Travis Blumgren last year. Corey Potter steps in early on. The West fans are saying, you know, he's got to really develop. And Pettin and his staff have done a great job with Corey Potter to be very patient with him, let him just grow each week within the passing game. And I've seen him over the year really mature and really handle himself well. And he's gonna make a difference in this game. He can run and he can throw the ball, and that's going to be probably the second biggest threat for East. One, they got to stop Armstrong, but two, they're going to have to stop Corey Potter.
And of course,
he's really maturing.
The crowd is down a bit tonight, partially because of the weather, partially because of the fact last year they were both playing for a championship. It was a big game. West won 28-0, and as you recall, you couldn't see beyond the fences. It was just, there must have been 10,000 people here. And if you talk to people who, years ago, that crowd, years from now, that crowd will increase to 50,000. Tonight, the stands are full, but there is plenty of room around them. I'd say we're going to have a capacity crowd, but that's about it. And I think that a lot of it does have to do with the weather. I think as people start realizing, hey, it's not going to rain, they will show up for the game, but that would hold things down. And again, East coming in, admittedly not having the greatest record. They have come up with some tough losses, though.
Well, they started off a little slow. They had a nice winning streak. At one point, they're sitting at 4-2 overall. They've lost the last 3 games, very tough games, late in the game, and I think right now they come in, everybody's talking about West and they're talking about district playoffs. But you know what? You got to play this game, and I think East realize that. They're going to come out and give it their best shot.
Well, right now, West wants to win, obviously, for the obvious reasons, but also because if they do, it would appear that barring any unforeseen circumstances, they would host Hatboro Horsham in the first game and avoid, I hate to say avoid, they would avoid the nemesis and let Downingtown take the bracket Plymouth Whitewater.
That's right, and knowing Mike Pettin, he doesn't want to talk about that until he gets past this night.
Exactly. We rise for the national anthem. We'll take a break and be right back. Don't go away.
Jewelry is a gift from the heart. And for years, Gem Jewelers' professional staff has been at the heart of the matter with quality engagement rings, wedding bands, and diamond anniversary rings. Inside our beautiful showroom, you'll find the largest selection and the best values to make your special day or any occasion a treasure you'll remember forever. Plus, Gem Jewelers' gemologist is always on hand to ensure the quality of your diamonds and gemstones. Gem Jewelers, the heart of jewelry, on Route 611 at Bristol Road, Warrington.
I am the Black Knight. Classic pinball can be played in your home. It takes just one visit to TNT Amusements. We sell reconditioned arcade-sized pinball machines, video games, and jukeboxes. Unlike our competitors, all of our equipment goes through a comprehensive 51-point checklist. And remember, whatever you buy, you can trade in later. We guarantee that in writing. So try it before you buy it. Visit our huge showroom in Southampton.
We're in the Yellow Pages under Amusements.
And we are back at War Memorial Field, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. You see Coach Mike Pettin of CB West. It is East-West football. A stirring rendition of the national anthem just performed. Tommy, sorry you folks could not hear that, but it was a spectacular job, and we start a spectacular game. And as always, both teams on the field. You see them on the field rather than on the sidelines as the captains come out. You see Manny Stapakis come out with the rest of the captains, 4 and 4 for each side.
And that was Jay Herbert who sang that national anthem. I still have goosebumps.
No, I'll tell you, there's nothing like a good rendition of it. It wasn't stylized, it was sung straightforward.
All right, gentlemen,
and it was
my name
clear
is Jim
as a bell.
Stevenson.
Let's listen to the toss of the coin.
Michael Wine will be your umpire tonight. I wish you both a lot of luck. We're going to call West white. We'll call East blue. West is the visiting team. Who's going to call the toss? All right, that's the head, that's the tail. I'll toss it, call it in the air. If I drop it, we'll do it all over again. Heads is called, and it is heads. West, you have won the ball, and you're going to receive. You guys, what goal would you like to defend? Okay, you want to put your backs to that goal? West, with your backs to this goal? Right there, that's good. All right, West, they will receive. Blue will defend. Guys, and best of luck to you tonight.
And you heard it, Dave Armstrong called the toss of the coin. He called it correctly, and West will get the football. Larry Green will send his defensive crew out there. As you see, all the teams come to the middle of the field for the hand. This is great. This is great. This is the best of high school football. You see them all out there at the hash marks facing each other. Tommy, you've been part of this. You know what it feels like. Tom doesn't have a whole lot of words right now. This always gets to him. This is a big moment. And they come forward. Larry Green and Mike Pettin shaking hands. And a lot of these guys who have played football together many, many times, both with and against. You see the coaches going over to wish them all best. Because after all, it is the kids. The kids. A lot of friendships here, no matter what side of the field they're on. Now they break up, and we are ready for football. It will be East kicking off to West as they get themselves prepared for final moments. Always electricity in the air, always a big moment for that. This game just is extra special, East and West. That's all you have to say is East and West, and no matter where you are in Pennsylvania, you know who it is.
It's a great tradition. Kids are going to tee it up tonight for the 29th time. Again, West comes in favored as always. I don't remember a year where East has come in and been favored. West has always been favored in the 29 games. East winning twice and a tie.
We've seen some spectacular games. We've seen pass a two-point conversion, win a game for West. We've seen East dominate a game and just miss a field goal at the end that would have been a huge upset. We've seen some blowouts. Most of the games, though, have been extremely, extremely competitive because, after all, as I say, this is East-West. East will defend the goal to our right. You see them going out with their blue jerseys, silver helmets, their white white numerals with red piping, and West, of course, in their road jerseys, white jerseys with the black numerals, the Killer Bee look. the black pants and the yellow piping, and of course the gold helmets as well. So they will be receiving the ball. It will be the first big test of the night for East.
Okay, Jim.
Teeing the ball up right at the 40-yard line. Back deep is Chris Ortiz. And we'll get in a moment as Habel will tee it up. And we are ready to go. It's a low kick. Oh, and it's pitched, bounced around, and they scramble for the ball. It's East, got it. It may be East. It is. It's Central Bucks East on the ball.
He hits the ball real hard. It skips. The guy goes down to get it. It ricochets off his helmet, and a real good run in his lane, runs down, is able to pounce on that ball for East. We think it's number 62, Steve Gonzalez. We'll have to check that. But there's a first big break of the game for East. And coming in, anybody that's here saying East has got to have a bunch of those breaks to try to stay in this football game.
They start out inside the 40-yard line, just inside the 40-yard line of West. East will have the ball after the turnover. Man in motion, no backs. The pitch goes back to Brian Scott. Tries to turn the corner. He's got the corner. He's to the 30. He's to the 25-yard line and out of bounds. Brian Scott. They slided him to the right side, gave him a little running room. Didn't look like he had the corner, and all of a sudden he did.
I'll tell you, Brian Scott, I got to see him with Jeff Isey against the Council Rock team here that one night, and I'm telling you, this guy can dominate a football game. He can do a lot of things. The thing is, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball, and he's going to do things on special teams, punt returns, and kickoffs. It's going to be a tough night for the West defense to try to stop him.
Power I formation. Scott the tailback. He goes in motion to the left side. Habel under center. Hands the ball off. He's got 5. He's got 7 yards and a big run by Tony Bavino.
Tony Bavino, he's a great kid, great work ethic. He's playing fullback. He's been hurt the last couple weeks. He's going on guts tonight, Bob. He had a guy fall on the back of his ankles 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's got it heavily taped, and he's in there at fullback, and he's looking for a big night. His last night as a senior for CBE.
That's why he's there. Ball moved down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Make it second down and about 4. And again, the power I. Long count, the handoff goes to Brian Scott, cuts it outside. He's going to be close to the first down at about the 16 or 17-yard line. He'll be about a yard and a half shy. Make it third down and about 2.
And think of the philosophy. You're Larry Green. What are you saying to yourself? The same thing that Wes is saying to himself. I want to keep the ball out of the hands of Dave Armstrong. How do I do that? Have long drives, ground up the clock, and hopefully be able to score. The important thing is obviously get points. And right now they've had the opportunity the kick off the helmet, they get the recovery, and now they're driving, but they got to make points out of it.
3rd and 2. Oh man, look at this, double wing, nobody in the backfield. Now in motion goes Scott. It is a pitch to Scott. He's got 2, he's got 5. He's inside the 10-yard line and out of bounds.
And it's just, he's splitting the defense out. It's not a bad concept. He's taken 3 guys and spreading out the defensive backs. He's given Habel an option down the line with Scott, but he's given the ball to him right away, and Brian Scott has a lot of room out there now twice when he's run that play.
And I did not get inside the 10-yard line, which is good news for East because they can get a first down without a touchdown. It's 1st and 10, the ball just outside the West 10, just underway. Joined us. West fumbled the kickoff. Actually, it bounced off an up man, squib kick, and East got the ball. They have moved from there. Backs in the out. Handoff goes, and in the backfield, smothered in the backfield is Brian Scott, and they might have gone to the well one too many times.
Yeah, there's Buckley. He's a linebacker. He's reading that. He had a good guy. He come in and filled, and Buckley comes in and makes a tackle. And West needed that. East has them on their heels a little bit after the turnover and the big runs by Scott early on. And they need some big defensive plays here. Again, for them, if they can hold East to no points or possibly a field goal, that's a good job at this point in the game.
Ball back to the 12, so make it second down and 11. side is Rob Linders. Single setback, double wing formation. Wing to the left is Scott. He goes in motion. Back to pass. No, the pitch. And having trouble handling the pitch is Scott. Gets around one man, but he'll lose yardage. And that play never happened. The pitch from Habel was just too high. He was fortunate to hold on to it. Had it been a clean pitch, it looked like they had some yardage.
Yeah, he pitched it. He was a little bit behind him. Scott did a good job to control the ball and not let it get by him. And now two big plays by West. Third and, what, I'm going to say 15, 16 yards here.
The good teams, when you get inside, I hate that term, the red zone, but when you get inside the 20s, the good teams have a way of making plays happen. That's what's happened so far. Now again, the no backfield look. And we have timeout called by West, and a smart timeout.
Well, here's what's going on. They haven't seen this look for CB East, and they've gotten big yardage on it. And now on third down, Mike's saying, I got to call these guys over and tell them what I want. Because when they're calling this play, he's over there yelling what he wants, and the kids aren't getting it. So call timeout, bring him over, make sure everybody understands. And there you see him. He's got him in a huddle, as does Green. Well, now you get your guys in the right spot.
Now, you've only played not quite just a little over 3 minutes, and you use your first timeout of the half. But there are good timeouts and there are bad timeouts. This is a good timeout because right now, this is a big part of the game. If they can get that first down or the touchdown, if you figure they get the first down on this play, they'll get the touchdown to boot. And then East has got all the air in their balloon, and they can go out there. They got the lead, they got the score, everything's going right for them. They looked bad, did West, or ill-prepared for the no backfield, the double wing look. Now, Coach Pettin and Carey take them out and they say, okay, here's what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to combat it. Let's see if Green comes up with something different on this.
Interesting here, Larry does not go into the huddle. He comes right out on the ball, and he's ready to go. Interesting.
And again, similar formation, double wing to the left. And now motion by Scott. Play action by Habel. He's rolling left. He's under a rush. He's looking. He's throwing. He's got a man. Throws it behind him. Intended for number 24, Dave Titus. Goes incomplete. And you would think that East will go for the field goal. Is onto the field. Excuse me, Dave Titus. I'm sorry about that. Tony Bevavino, of course. Titus is playing for West, naturally. Jake Walker comes into the game to kick the field goal.
And Habel did a nice job to really sprint, get outside that defensive end because he was breathing down hard on him. Again, he's running to his left. He's got to try to make a tough pass, and Bevavino isn't able to get open. And this is a big...
No, it's not Walker on the field goal. It's number 53. It's Tim Becker. He kicks it. It's boomed. It's high enough. It's good. And Becker puts the Patriots on the board. It's 3-0 CB East.
Becker does a good job, keeps his head down, drives the ball through the goalpost. And tonight's a tough night to kick because the ball's wet. Anytime that ball is wet, it's going to be heavier. It's going to be harder to kick. There he does a nice job. He drills it. And you got to give East credit. They didn't get 7, but they got points off of the turnover or off of the muff kickoff. And now here you go. Now they're going to be tested. Can they stop that big offensive line of CB West? Now let's see if they can.
See, this is a nothing-to-lose situation. What Green learned from earlier games is that West is susceptible to the squib or the onside kick. Abington showed that in spades against him. It's been done a few times. So what they're doing, maybe that one was accidental. If it was a genius accident. If they're going to keep it low, they're going to make the up men go after it. And then if West falls on the ball, well, so be it. A good move as Habel will come up to kick off for East, who leads 3-0 with 8:44 left in this first quarter of the game.
Kicking off for the Patriots, number 5.
And that's big for East. They got a little momentum. It's on their side. Now that what they got to do is try to keep it. And for West, they want to take it back.
And they kick it off, and this is again a squibber going right up the middle, and this time they'll go all the way back. And they've got it at the 20, the 25, a nice opening out toward midfield, and finally brought down at the 40-yard line on a great return. Tackle was made by Frank Laquani, but I believe that was Scott Warden on the kickoff return, or Chris Ortiz.
And Ortiz is a guy that early on he was going to be their back. He got banged up early in the season and has had to work his way back, and he's starting to develop and get into that form that West wanted him to be in early on. But some guys that have picked up the slack for him at back is Scott Worden. Look for those two guys to complement Dave Armstrong tonight.
Backs are in the eye behind quarterback Corey Potter. Hands the ball off to Worden. Warden's got 5. Warden's got 8, and he's out of bounds. And they made it look easy.
Well, that's the thing. You made a great point there. He ran 8 yards, and nobody even was close to being near him. And again, we talk about the domination of the CB West team, offensive line that has done a tremendous job all year. You want to talk about Dave Armstrong, but Dave Armstrong will be the first guy to say to you that, hey, I'm getting the yardage just because of that offensive line. We'll get to those guys' names in a minute.
See one of the East players studying the game. Backs come out split. Second down, a long 2. And up goes to Big Dave Armstrong. He's got the first down and a few more as he goes over midfield to the East 45-yard line. First down, Bucks.
And I think Larry Green knew coming in that was going to be his challenge defensively. Can he get enough guys in the gaps on the defense to try to stop this big offensive line? And so far he has.
First down for West, their first down of the game. They trail 3-0 as East took the kicked off, and Squid kicked it, recovered the kickoff, took it in for a Becker 35-yard field goal. 1st and 10, ball just outside the East 45-yard line. Handoff goes to Worden. Warden's got 5 quick ones, and it'll be 2nd and 5, and they're getting big crunches of yardage on every handoff.
Yeah, that time it looked like East sent some linebackers, and that's what you'll do. You'll run blitz to try to stop the run. That time they had guys in the backfield, but they still weren't able to make the tackle. And Warden's doing a great job. He's just sitting right behind Dave Armstrong, that fullback, and getting what he can. As is Ortiz.
Gain of 4 on the play. They call it 2nd down and 6. And a single setback. Power left. Going behind that power is Armstrong. He's got the first down. Oh, great blocking, but tremendous power. That spin move got him the extra couple yards, and I believe they will get a fresh 4 unless they say that, they're going to say his knee went down about a yard, just not even a yard, maybe a foot shy of the first down.
And he got hit at about 2 yards after he got into the line of scrimmage and just did a spin and basically fell another 3-4 yards. And he looks like they're going to give him 3rd down in just maybe a half yard.
Ball down now at the 30, just outside the 35-yard line, 3rd and about a foot. And it goes, no, it's a keeper by Potter. He's got yardage. He can go all the way. Corey Potter will score! Touchdown, Central Bucks West.
Well, we talked in the opening. We talked about Dave Armstrong. We talked about Ortiz. We talked about Worden. But we also talked about Corey Potter and his poise and his ability to lead this team. And there you see it right there. Everybody's thinking Dave Armstrong. In fact, he gets stood up in the hole, but Potter does a great job. Play fake, keeps the ball on his hip. Nobody's got it, gets outside the end, races down that sideline for 6. That was a pretty call, well executed. And West grabs the momentum back.
Dan Patterson will try to left foot the extra point. It's high. It looks like it may be wide. I thought it was wide. And it is. So it's 6-3. The point after is no good. And that gets a rise out of the CB East hopeful. Now remember this, they get the ball back now. Both teams have scored in their first possession and moved the ball fairly well. Let's take a look at this.
There it is. You see the play into the hole. They stopped Dave Armstrong. And Corey Potter, he had that ball on his hip, ball in the outside hand. You got to love it. Nobody's there. Race to the end zone. What a great feeling. Touchdown.
But it takes, Potter, you don't know how great a passer he is, but one thing he has done well is to really be deceptive in the backfield. He sold that play to the Patriots. They were looking for Armstrong. He stuck it in Armstrong's belly, put it back on his hip, sort of scampered around left in, and before anybody could realize it, he was out in the open. So it is 6-3. West now leads, and it took them all of 2 minutes and 7 seconds to get that score. So
6 plays.
6 plays, that's right, 6 plays. Now they're going to tee it up all the way on the right hash mark.
Now, don't kick the ball to Brian Scott, and you're going to see this all night. And it'll be interesting to see if Brian tries to move around depending upon where West kicks the ball.
They kick it way up and they kick it far out, and they're going to kick it. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and it does.
Great philosophy. I'll give you the ball on the 35-yard line and not give up a
all
kickoff
yours.
or return.
If you can get 65 yards, go ahead and do it. I'm not giving you a 45-yard return.
Great philosophy. Don't let Brian Scott beat you on kickoff returns.
So the ball will move up to the, actually it's out to the 30-yard line. Now they're going to move to the 35. I was wondering about that.
It'll be interesting next time if they put Brian over there on that sideline and see if he can catch the ball before it goes out of bounds. But it's a great thing. Don't let him beat you on those special teams, because he can. Brian has 3 or 4 touchdowns on punts and kickoff returns, as well on passes and also on runs. So he's very versatile. He can hurt you in many facets of the game, and West knows that.
East will call timeout. Evidently, we're not straight on their calls, and Larry Green will talk to his troops. While we have a moment, reminder that VHS copies of this and all other suburban community television sporting events and events are available by calling that number you see right there, 215-345-5154, Monday through Friday between 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock, normal business hours. You know, Tom, 3 or 4 people said to me, how do I get tapes? Well, that's how you get them. You can make that phone call. You say, listen, I want to hear Tommy White once again. I want to see the Patriot walking with his hand on top of his head. I want to see the cheerleaders. Most of all, I want to see football. So call that number. You see it right there. The tapes are available.
Yeah, how many times do you get to see or have something like that in your archive with your son or daughter involved in the high school programs and be able to pull it out a couple years from now and watch it? It's a great thing, and everyone should try to get a copy of it and be able to keep it as a keepsake and show it to your kids someday.
I thought they all get it because they want to hear me.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah, right. At any rate, timeout has been taken, and now we are ready to go. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Justin Habel will lead his troops in a power eye look on 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. West leading 6-3, 6:37 to go first quarter. Glad you could join us for the game. The handoff goes to Scott. He's outside. He's going to be dragged down. He didn't gain anything, and that was good pursuit by the West defense.
Yeah, good job. 23. The defensive back comes up and makes a nice job. That's Greg Kinzel. Kinzel comes up. He stuffs the lead blocker. Keeps his outside leg out. Now watch this. Here's Scott. He's got the ball on the outside. Now here's the fullback here, Acker. He's not going to get a good block here. See how that's 35. That's Warden. You're going to see there's Kinzel, also 24. Good job. Lots of hats on the ball for West. Dave Titus also in there. 2nd down, just inside 10 yards to go. Oh, in a shotgun formation, and a high snap goes over Abel's head. He's able to hold on. He gets away from one tackler. He's going to lose yardage. Did a good job to almost get back to the line of scrimmage. They tried the shotgun look, and he almost shot it over his head. Yeah, he did a nice job to avoid a huge loss for East. Looks like he's coming up a little gimpy there. He's coming over the sideline to get the play from Coach Green, and now they got a big 3rd down play.
Yeah,
they need a 1st down here, because they give the ball back to West. You know, after that quick score, they're going to be on their
heels. And you wonder if that wet field isn't playing a little game with that snap. And also, naturally, wet field leading to a wet ball. 3rd down, shotgun formation, trips left. Good snap this time, got some time. Looks, he throws it over the middle. He's got a man not quite able to hold on to the ball as it was thrown well, but R.J. White coming over the middle was unable to hold on to the ball. And it'll be 4th down, and we'll have our first punting situation, Tom.
Habel did a nice job. He let R.J. White get out there, get into the pattern, hits him in the hands. I know he's going to say to himself, man, I got to catch that ball. Anytime it hits you in the hands, you got to come up with it somehow. But West does a nice job to hold and get the ball back. And I'll tell you what, East has got to find a way on defense to try to stop him.
Habel back at his 24-yard line. He will be punting the ball, gets a good snap, and a nice spinner will be taken there by Ortiz, he takes it up. He's got some good yardage and gets it out over the 35-yard line before he's finally brought down by a host of blue shirts. But again, West has good field position for their second possession of the game.
Let's give that offensive line of West some due here, Bob. Center Matt Velitis, guard Adam Dumrod, the two twins, the John and Joe Wilson brothers, and of course Ben Carver, the big man, and Greg Ward, the tight end. These guys have been yeomen all year.
I believe Ben Carver's brother played for
North Penn.
Aaron.
He certainly did. Ben comes in, Bob. He's an 11th grader, 6'3", 300 pounds. You should see him in the weight room.
Hey, the grocery
Impressive
bill of the
guy.
Carver family is big. Aaron was just as big. Man in motion. Handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got 5. He's got 8. He's got 10. He's got 15 and almost breaks it. Dave Armstrong would not be brought down. Deep into the secondary, gets it over midfield, down to the 43-yard line of CB East. 1st and 10 for the Bucks.
And you saw the two of the East players stand there just shaking their head saying, it's like we can't stop them. It's just, they're just so overpowering right now. And that offensive line, they're firing off the ball, holding their blocks, they're locking on a man and driving him and letting Dave Armstrong get what he can. It's just simple power football. You gotta love it.
Ball just outside the 42-yard line of East. 1st and 10 for the Bucks, who have not been able to be stopped so far. Split backfield, handoff goes to Armstrong. He'll get a couple, and then he breaks it outside, and he'll almost get the 1st down. Boy, Dave Armstrong looked for all the world like he was stopped after about a yard or two. Just kept powering him, and they made the mistake. They tried to tackle him high, Tommy.
You know, you talk to people all the time. They say they would come up to me, you know how involved I am in the community in football, and they always say, Tom, why is West so good? And I'm gonna tell you why they're so good. These kids are dedicated to the program. They lift 3 days a week during the season. A lot of coaches are against that. Well, somehow I would be for it, knowing the success that this team has. And the weight coach, Joe Hallman, you got to take your hat off to this guy. He does a great job with the kids.
Backs are split. Pitch goes to Armstrong. He's been the horse in this series. He's got the 1st down. He's got about 6 or 7 yards. And Tom, they are just, it's like they're running through a column.
Yeah, it's tough. It's got to be tough for the kids out there on the field because they know they're giving it their all. It's just that right now they're just mismatched. Maybe what we can try to do as we go, we'll look at the size of the offensive line for West and the defensive line for East, and you'll get a feel for what the mismatches are. Velitis comes in, he's 225. Dumrad's 255. The Wilson brothers are all 250. We talked about Carver, he's 300, so you can tell we got a big offensive line.
Jumping offside is East, and it'll cost them 5 more.
The lineman for East, you got 67, Colby Umbrell. He's 210, that's not a bad sized guy. 68, Toka, he's 235.
Defense.
5-yard penalty.
But as you say, it's the conditioning. It's the way they play. The strength coach, Joe Hallman, gets them in there 3 days a week. They are still strong in November.
5-yard penalty.
And that's key, Tom, to have, I believe, in the weight training program, because come November, you're a tired athlete. And if you are going out there just working out, playing, practicing during the season and not working with the weights, keeping that muscles toned as the pitch goes to Ortiz, and Ortiz will get maybe 2 or 3. If you're not toned up and continue to be ready to play, A, you're going to be injury prone, and B, you're just not going to be in the best shape. And you're shaking your head vigorously yes to me on that.
And the interesting thing is, Joe Holman 2 years ago under John Quim was the weight coach at CB East.
Well, that's why I led this up to that, Tom.
And
I had heard that, and I heard that from somebody standing very close to me.
And Joe Holman was gracious enough to come over to CB West, and they graciously took him, and he's done a great job. And what a difference it makes when you're hitting those weights during a season. Big deal.
2nd and 4, a nice carry by Ortiz. Actually got a yard, so it's 2nd and 4, and now carrying the ball is Armstrong. He's stacked. He may be short of the 1st down. The East fans are cheering it, but he still gained 2 or 3.
Well, he's going to end up 3rd and just short. And it looks like maybe we're going to get a measurement. But they got 2 plays here to get a yard. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be, unless they turn the ball over, tough not to get it.
See, you've got to take chances, and that's the key here. You've got to take chances. You got to take chances. They'll stretch it. He's going to, I don't know, that's he's short by about 1/4 of an inch. You got to take chances and hope that maybe you're right. They took a chance on Dave Armstrong the last series. It wasn't. They were wrong. Corey Potter made him pay for that mistake. But if you're right, you have to wrap the guy up. Dave Armstrong can be brought down, but it's like chopping a tree down. You got to hit it down at the bottom.
You got to come up and you got to wrap him. You got to wrap around those big, powerful legs of him and vice him. You got to wrap and vice. And if you don't, he'll run through any arm tackles that you try to
and I've said this before. I have only seen Armstrong stopped 1 time in his high school career, and that was 2 years ago against North Penn. They were able to bring him down. Now, in all fairness, he was injured in that game too, but they tackled him low and they kept crunching him down. I have not seen him stop that much. I haven't seen him stopped other than that, and he's not easily stoppable. 3rd down, very short, everybody in tight. Armstrong, you got to think he's going to get the ball as Potter calls some number. It is Armstrong. He barrels in, doesn't get much, but he didn't need much. He's got the 1st down. Now you wonder, the running play works. Running plays are working. You wonder, does Penn take a shot and say, Corey, let's see if we can put the ball in the end zone, do a little play action freeze, see if we can get the ball out to one of our.
I'll tell you what happened today. Hatboro Horsham played today. You know there's a lot of Hatboro people here tonight. Mike Pettin, if he can, he's going to keep all the special things in his pocket and run power football and try to beat East with the simple stuff and not show the whole playbook.
It is a passing look, a single setback, and it is play action. No, he's going to roll. Potter's going to carry it himself, and he is cracked after about 2 yards. A nice open field tackle on Corey Potter.
Yeah, a lot of blue hats there up to make a tackle. Number 62 for East. That's Steve Gonzalez. Nice job, takes him down, and probably, other than that 2nd down and to get the 1st down there, was probably the shortest gain on 1st down for West tonight.
I'm not sure if we have an injury or we have an equipment situation. They say short gain, and yet you look at the sticks, and they're about 3-4 yards downfield. You run that 3 times, you got yourself a 1st down.
Yes.
I think it's just equipment.
You can see it there. Acker's trying to fix the strap. Well, you can see right there the laces actually tore away from the shoulder pad. They're gonna end up having to send him off the field. Although now you got the official
West
in there.
West is ready to go, and they're going to send West back to the huddle. Pettin wants to move along here.
Well, he's saying, look, the guy's got an equipment problem. Get him off the field. Yeah. You know, you can't hold up the game. If it's a minor thing, you can fix it real quick. That's one thing. But it's a welcome break, too, as you see the scoreboard there. 1:26 to go this 1st quarter. 6-3 West. And right now, West is really in a position to kind of really take a hold of the momentum of the game.
I got to tell you, other than the rain all day long, this is probably the best weather we've had for East-West game in years. It is warm. It's warm but not hot, and the wind is moderate. It's almost perfect football weather. So 2nd down, the equipment repair has been made. 2nd, and we'll call it 7. Backs are split. And the handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got 3, and he's stacked up there, and they stood him up nicely on that play. Acker at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, he came up. He hit him good, but again, it's amazing how strong Dave is. Even a good stick, you got to say that they pretty much held him on that. He got 3 yards.
Yeah,
so instead of being 3rd and if he had no gain, 3rd and 7, he gets 3rd and 3.
But the reason was that the line surge gave him those 3 yards before he got hit.
It
wasn't like he got hit in the line of scrimmage and moved forward. He got stacked, but he had his 3 before that. So make it 3rd and about 3 yards to go. Ball resting just inside the 10-yard line. Back split, man in motion going right now. Pitch goes to Armstrong. He's got the corner. He turns around, makes a nice move, and he may or may not have the 1st down as he stood him up.
A great job out there by the linebacker. He's able to get up under Dave and stand him up and try to drive him out of bounds before he gets the 1st down. Now it's 4th and 1, and I'm going to tell you, Watch this. Here's Dave. It's a quick pitch to the outside. He's got his fullback leading. He's got the ball in the inside hand. That makes it tough on him because he can't shed. Now watch this guy come up. We'll try to get his number here. Bam! That's Brian Scott, man-to-man. What a great shot there. In comes Acker to help out.
Great strength by Scott. 4th down and about a yard. Full house backfield. Goal line offense for West. Almost jumping off is East. Handoff goes and crushing in, and I think he's got the 1st down on the turn. I think he's got it. They're going to measure, but I think that he's got the 1st down on the turn. It depends on the spot, but I'm going to say he's got it by a good length of the football.
I'm watching a guy down there in the raincoat giving the sign for 1st down. And I think he's got it.
Oh, yeah. And they do. They're not even going to measure. They're not even going to measure.
Here it is, Dave. He's just into the line. Power. Look at all the blue shirts. There's Acker on the bottom. He's furiously trying to get his power under him. The 42 did a good job for East there, too. Troy Lavinia, and just wasn't able to take him down.
And on that note, we have completed the 1st quarter of a very interesting game. East taking an early lead, only to see West come back and take the lead, and they are poised to possibly score again as we come back. We have finished 1 quarter of play. West 6, East 3. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect pre-owned car? Come to John Altamari Auto. With over 125 quality pre-owned cars in stock, you're sure to find the car you want at the price you want. Choose from luxury cars, vans, sports cars, imports, and 4-wheel drives. Every car is warranted for 1 year with current inspection, plus Altamari has a service center on the premises. Bad credit or no credit, Altamari gives you instant approval with as little as $500 down. So, visit our friendly sales staff to help you get the car you want. John Altamari Auto, located on East Lincoln Highway, 100 yards from Reedman's.
We are back at War Memorial Field in Doylestown, Pennsylvania for the Battle of Doylestown, the game. Central Box East, Central Box West, here on a very nice night it's turned out to be, although it rained all day. Bob Friedman along with Tom White, no rain right now. Just a reminder, by the way, the slow motion replays tonight are sponsored by Sereno's Pizza, located on Route 202, just south of Del Valle College in New Britain. We thank them for that. Had some great slow motion replays so far. Ball goes to Armstrong, pushing, by touchdown. Dave Armstrong would not be stopped, and the line surge was fantastic, Tom.
Just fire off the ball. You get down there, it's the H and Hut. You're firing off the ball, and if you're not moving on the H and Hut, you're going to be a second behind this team. And the surge, as you said, is just tremendous. And they just pound it in there. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Power football.
Let's see, they're going to go for the 1 point rather. Dan Patterson will come in. His first one looked like he just didn't turn his body all the way and it went wide left. Snap good, the kick down, the kick is up, and it looks to be perfect this time. It is, and with just 4 seconds gone in the 2nd quarter, West has extended their lead to 13-3.
And it was just power football, smart football. But again, I can't talk enough about how dominating the offensive line Bob has been all year. And there it is. It's 13-3 West. And again, interesting on this kickoff. What will East do? Will you take Brian Scott and put him over in that corner and hopefully let him catch the ball before it goes out of bounds, and does West call timeout and move the tee and try to kick it away from him? Could be a very interesting thing here. Good shot of that East helmet.
10-play drive, 58 yards for the touchdown. And Armstrong carried it. That was Armstrong, big part. Armstrong carried it 10 times on that series. So that's stats have been handed. So 10 carries by Dave Armstrong for 58 yards. He was the go-to guy. And we will have the kickoff for CB West. Patterson will tee it up at the 40, and as you say, Tom, it will be interesting to see. Now he takes it all the way to the right hash mark again. You know, with that much strength on the left side, you wonder if you wouldn't try an onside kick once in a while, just to make it interesting.
Well, it's interesting. What they did is where they have the tee lined up. Now they got a guy, Tony Bevavino, who's their fullback and a bona fide run-the-ball guy where they have the ball lined up.
But it's another kicker who takes it.
And look who's got it.
Yep, that's right. And then Scott's got it. He breaks through the middle of the line. He's got one man to beat, and he's just brought down. Oh, my. They tried a little trickery. They showed Patterson, had a different person kick it off. Scott still got the ball and made him pay, got out to the 42, and was one step away from breaking.
You could feel the whole east sideline take a breath. Oh, like that when he caught the ball and he took off. It looked like he actually ran into the back of his own guy. Here it is.
Take a look at the Serrano's Pizza replay.
Does a nice job. He's trying to find a lane here. And now right up here, he's going to try to make a cut. And right here, you're going to see him run that. No, that's
Corey Potter.
Corey Potter. And you know West means business if they have their starting quarterback on a kickoff team.
Power I formation. Scott goes in motion out to the wing right side. On first down, handoff goes, and going absolutely nowhere is Tony Bevavino.
And a good job, number 73, John Wilson, one of the brothers out there, John and Joe Wilson, comes from his defensive line spot, finds a seam in that offensive line, and takes Bevavino down. He never had a chance to square his shoulders.
Not only is it going nowhere, it loses 6 yards. So second down and 16. They call it second and 15. Looks more like 16 to me. Ball now moves all the way back to the 37-yard line. You got to think Hable, he's going to have to start putting the ball up in the air a little bit here. They tried to decoy Scott. Now they have backs in the eye. Scott the tailback. Wing left. Hable does that little counter play and getting for a 3 or 4 or 5, 6 yards. Tough running on the play by wingback R.J. White, who came from his end position, and gets about 7 of those yards back, make it 3rd and about 9. Actually, wow, they got more than that. He actually got about 10, so you make it 2nd and about 3rd and about 7.
He really, he got dinged pretty good. He's off the field and actually ran off, fell on the sideline. He's still down. But there's a little payback. He was a guy early in the game on 3rd down over the middle. Ball hits him, maybe something he should have caught. There he gets a little payback. A nice run, great gutsy run by him. Puts East in a doable 3rd down.
That's a play that West has made famous over the years.
That little inside scissors, that little inside buck play they call it. He isn't able to break it all the way, but now they got Brian Scott split out. He can be dangerous out there.
Shotgun formation. On 3rd down, 3rd and about 7. Has time. Now he'll throw the little screen pass, and it's knocked out of the way as the on-rushing lineman, number 74 on the play, and that was Jeff Cahill, came in there and appeared to knock the ball into the air. The screen was set, though.
I'll tell you, that's the beauty about watching CB West. The little things that they do well. They're the defensive lineman. He's not quite to the quarterback. He goes to throw. What does he do? He gets his hands up. Little things in their game that makes a difference in why they win year in and year out. You saw it right there.
So that big kickoff return goes for naught as they go 3 and out, and Justin Hable will stand at his own 35-yard line punting the ball. He gets it away. Another nice one. Little end over end. It's going to go out of bounds. No, it's going to spin out of bounds finally at about the 23-yard line. So not as good a punt as we thought initially it would be, kind of off the side of his foot. And West will start at their own 23-yard line.
Well, Ortiz is a very good punt returner, and East knows that. So the little bit of West medicine, they're going to try to kick the ball away from him, not let him catch the ball in the air. That's actually a good punt.
It is, but this is a big series for the East defense. This is the series where they either stand up and make their stand now, or this game could get out of hand.
Well, I think what they got to do is maybe put a couple more guys on a line of scrimmage and run blitz. Force Corey Potter to have to throw the ball or run the ball himself. Try to take that inside stuff away from West, and let's see if they can do it.
Full house backfield for West on 1st down from their own 23-yard line. It is Potter carrying the ball. He's got 5, he's got 7, he cuts out to the left side, spins around, got the 1st down, and Corey Potter snakes his way through for 11 yards. 1st down, CB West.
Great job. He's just very patient, Corey. Gets outside. He's not racing out there full speed. He's looking for a break. He got out there in front of Armstrong and the rest of the gang. Finds a seam, little spin, little cutback. 12 yards, first down.
He's reminiscent of two other quarterbacks as we see this run as replay. He almost lost it there.
There's Shackleful, he gets a block. Armstrong's up in there, he gets a block. Corey Potter, nice job, cuts back across the field. Only 42 there for East, is able to slow him down. Troy Lavinia, nice job to slow him down and eventually make the tackle.
How much does he remind you of Matt Baggett?
You got to love Corey Potter, the work ethic of this kid. From the time he's been in the program, he's one of the strongest kids on the team, which is amazing for a quarterback. And but Travis Blumgren was the same last year. Spent a lot of time in the weight room. And he's durable, and he's strong. He's got good stamina, good leadership, and he's poised. And his maturity as a quarterback is just, every week has gotten better and better.
Well, he reminds me of both Baggett and Putty Gilbert when Gilbert played the quarterback position the one year. None of them were the world's greatest passers, but they did a lot of things well.
Do all the little things well.
That's right. Single setback, double wing to the right side. Handoff goes, no, it's Potter calling his own number again. He's got about 3, and he'll be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down as we come to 9:15 to go in this first half. West leading East 13-3, and they are on the move again.
Again, good line surge, fire off, lock on a man, drive the feet till the whistle blows. Corey's looking for a seam. He's going to break one of them big. He did early in the first quarter. That little keeper, nice job on his hip. But tonight I think it's going to be Corey Potter's night. Everybody's keying on Dave Armstrong, and Corey has a nice opportunity to play off of that, run and pass. So far, he's done a great job.
3rd and short, we're in Armstrong territory, and it is Armstrong who barrels for the first down. Right over tackle. No fooling around. Meat and potatoes between the tackles, and he's there.
Safety's making a lot of tackles for East tonight. That time on the tackle, number 26 for East. Chandelark, he's come up, try to wrap Dave Armstrong. Even when he comes up and makes a good hit, and he's still dragging him for a couple yards. Actually, that was 28. Correct. I'm going to correct that. That was Mark Notwick.
Right.
Did a nice job. But you can only take a beating so long as a defensive back from a guy that size.
A little bit of confusion here. We have a fresh tailback in the game. And it is Warden with the ball. Warden breaks it 5. He's got 10. He's got 15 yards, and he's out of bounds. Scott Warden comes in fresh. Excuse me, that's Chris Ortiz comes in fresh, and he gets the big first down.
Breaking a lot of tackles. They give you that kind of mutter type approach, and all of a sudden they sneak Ortiz on you, and he's got a burst, or Warden. And all of a sudden, that was Ortiz.
That was Ortiz.
And I'll tell you what, he's going to make a difference on his team late in the season because he's got that speed, he's got the breakaway speed, and he's the type of kid where he's worked hard. He's got it in his head that, hey, I got to prove to myself that I belong on his team because early on they were counting on him and he got hurt. And I know Ortiz is saying to himself, I want to contribute, and he's gonna.
Well, it's like Ricky Waters carrying the ball, and then suddenly go to Charlie Garner. It's a change of pace. Ortiz has got tremendous speed, as does Warden, and you're used to being bowled over by Dave Armstrong. Armstrong, as great a runner as he is, can even be a better decoy because of the fact that everybody's going to gang up on him, which is why Potter's had those big runs, which is why Ortiz was able to break it to the outside. Everybody's keying on number 34, Tom.
Yeah, you got to. That's the way football is played. You got a key guy, you got to take him away first, and then you got to go to that second guy. And the offense is going to play off of that, and they've done a great job. Some of the guys in the secondary for East, Kreider, Steve Kreider, he's a backup quarterback. His dad and I, Rich Kreider, play together at East, so I saw him coming into the game. It was nice to see Rich. He's really psyched for his kid to have a big night. Also in there, Matt Collier. He's the other D-back linebacker for East. These guys really have a test tonight trying to tackle Big Dave.
On 1st and 10, the ball at the 36-yard line. It's Potter, his first pass of the game, and it is complete. Getting it down inside the 25-yard line to about the 21. Let's see who had the reception on that. That was Ortiz, I believe.
Yeah, it was Ortiz. And all he does is he sneaks out in that flat, tries to find a little seam where he can get by that linebacker and that cornerback. Potter, nice job. He drills it in there, and Ortiz gets a little extra after the catch. And this West team, Bob, has just been so impressive.
They're hitting on all cylinders tonight as that's their first pass of the game. It is a completion. He gets it down to about the 22-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. 7:58 to go in the half. 13-3, West with the lead and the ball. Now the pitch goes to Ortiz. He's got about 3 on the play. It looked like no big game, but he's got about 3 or 4 because, again, that offensive line is just doing the job.
That time, good job. And I think it's number 65 for East. Sam Lamb does a nice job to knife through that quick side pitch or that weak side pitch and make a play and take them down for 3 yards. And that's a big defensive play tonight for East, because West has been just chunking it off.
And still, West got
yards.
three on the carry.
Right, exactly.
2nd down and long, 7 to go, ball inside the 20-yard line. It's Armstrong. He's tackled the line of scrimmage and still managed to get 3.
There's no penetration, any defensive line surge at all. It's all West, and as you said, before you even get to him, he's got 3-4 yards.
You can tell he's been playing football. That jersey is now looks like a Lehigh jersey. It's brown. 3rd down and long, about 3 yards to go. Ball now at the 15, just inside the 15-yard line. And again, it's Armstrong. He carries. He's going to be, I think he's going to be shy of the first down here. I think he's going to be shy. I think it's going to be very close, but I think he's about a half a yard shy of the first down. Tommy's giving the first down signal, but I'm skeptical on this one.
Yeah, they're going to come in with a measurement here.
While they measure, we'll take a quick break and we will be right back. Don't go away.
This is the best way not to get your license on the first try.
And this is the best way to get video games. Now get Sega Channel, over 70 hot games a month for your Genesis machine. No lines, no limits, no late fees, just unlimited play on your TV. Sega Channel, less than $15 a month. Call your cable company now. Sega Channel, the only way to get it is to get it.
Was short of the first down, so they are 4th and just inches, and everybody's in tight here. You got to think it's going to be Potter or Armstrong. It's Armstrong. He barrels through. He's got the first down.
That's hard to stop. There you see Dave, as you said. Look at that jersey already. We're 6 minutes to go in second quarter. He's full of it right now. But you know that's just so hard to stop.
You know, you almost want to say, hey, if you take your linebacker and you have him guess the count, and you have him run up, and you hope that he's right. If he's wrong, he's offside. But you're figuring, you haven't been able to stop him on yardage before. How are you going to stop him for half a yard? So you take the chance, you come up, you hope that you can crack him behind the line and bring him back, or knock the ball loose.
Try to strip it, yeah.
1st and 10 now. Man in motion. And it's Potter carrying the ball. He's got 5. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Central Bucks West, and it's 19-3, just like that.
And again, Potter, he shows that little fake, keeps the ball on his hip, does a nice job, gets upfield, reads a block, cuts inside it, and finds a seam into the end zone. Touchdown, CB West. 19-3, going for the extra point. 5:45 to go here in the second quarter. And after that initial kickoff, bounces off the helmet of CB West. East goes down, gets a field goal, gets on the board first. It has been all CB West.
Now they're going to go to the sideline. I got to think they're going to go for 2 here. This is a situation where you're up by 16 points. You want to get it more than, you want to make them put at least 3 scores on the board. And 2 touchdowns and a field goal, so they have to score really 3 touchdowns at that point.
With a time of 16.
And I don't think he's going to call him off to the side just to kick an extra point here. So they call a timeout right now.
There's Larry Green. I saw him pumping his arms, going, "Come on, guys, let's stay in it. We're down, but we get a whole. We still got half a quarter to go, and a whole second half. Maybe we'll catch a break. We'll get a big play. Let's keep it up." You see the East coaching staff. There's Chris Rittenhouse, Coach Marmer. Guys have been here a long time, doing a great job for the East program over the last couple of years under Larry Green.
Rich Marsland there, of course, played for West.
Yeah, Marsland, Billy Marsland.
Billy Marsland was Rich.
Yeah.
So now they're going to kick the extra point. So they talked about it, and then decided to go for the 1 point. So it will be Dan Patterson who will try and left foot it, make it 20-3. Snap is low, but the hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Patterson makes it 20-3.
Does a good job, keeps his head down, bam, drills that ball right through the uprights. And now it's kind of a must move the ball to try to keep yourself in this game, because if they come in here, kick off 3 plays and out, and give the ball back to West with an opportunity to score again before the half, that's a tough mountain to climb.
They've been trying some cute things, and the reality of it is some has worked, but most has not. What they have to do now is go to the well with the one who brought them this far this season. Brian Scott has been used in many cases, slotted out. He's been here, he's been there, he's been decoyed. You've got to give him the ball, Tom. You've got to make him the workhorse now.
Got to.
And Scott will go back deep. And West is going to talk it over how they want to handle this kickoff, because they tried a little chicanery. They showed Patterson that had another person kick it off, and Scott made the mistake. They kicked it too far. Scott got the ball and almost took it all the way. So Dan Patterson will tee it up again. Corey Potter, who can kick, is standing alongside him. You look at the skull and crossbones. And
it's amazing how coaches motivate kids, and we'll get back to those stickers on a helmet. It's a big part of this West program, the history of that.
Patterson, let's see who does it. Is it going to be Patterson or is it going to be Potter? It is Patterson. 2-step approach, and he gets it. And they accomplished what they wanted. But carrying the ball out for nice yardage. They accomplished what they wanted to. But Mike Taylor got the ball, and he got some big yardage.
That's a good aggressive run. He catches the ball in the air, doesn't let it hit the ground. Good burst up the field. And East has decent field position, but we said it earlier. They've got to get some first downs.
They've got to get points. They've got to score.
But namely, got to get points. We were talking about those stickers on the helmet. We'll get to it. But the big thing is the Axe Master. And maybe we'll get a shot of another helmet. Maybe we can catch that emblem, the Axe Master.
Power I formation. It is Scott in the tailback spot. It is Scott with a carry. It's Scott with about 5, and he spins for 7 yards, and that's what you need to do, Tommy White.
That's a little bit of their own medicine. Just get a bunch of guys on the line of scrimmage, hope you can fire off the ball, and get Brian Scott up in that thing just between the tackles. Don't try to go outside, and hope Brian Scott can find a seam and break it. And that's a big run on first down. He gets 7.5 yards.
I had a coach years ago who said to me, you don't try and make a thoroughbred a trotter. Obviously, he bet the horses, but that was another story. You've got a guy who can run, and you don't make him just dance around and decoy. You got to give him the opportunity to carry the ball. He's got to be the go-to guy. We're going to show the power eye look again. It's 2nd down and about 3. Ball moves out to the 43-yard line. Power eye with, again, Scott in the trigger position. Abel has it. He'll give it to Scott. Scott has a little trouble, managed to get maybe a yard there, and that was just all jumbled up at that point. But again, they're doing what they need to do. They've got to get the ball to Brian Scott. He'll get about a yard, make it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, really here you got 2 plays possible, even though you probably don't want to go for it on 4th down. I think East might have to consider, if they can get real close here, they do not want to give the ball back to the West.
I think I'd rather see them get the first down, but if they don't, I'd rather see them pin them deep with a punt.
Yeah.
Because you give the ball away here. I mean, unless it's 4th and inches, that's a different story. Let's see what happens here. The power I formation. Abel on a long count. Handoff around the left side and getting outside, but not getting the first down was Brian Scott. The pursuit, fantastic for West.
Good job. The thing you love about defense is if you see the whole defense flow, do a good job to stay along the line of scrimmage, and as the back squares the shoulder, you step up, you square the shoulders, you pop them. And they had a lot of hats on the ball.
Now, the crowd doesn't like this, but they're going to punt the ball away, and I could not agree with Larry Green more in this situation. You've got fourth and about a yard. They have shown they've not been able to move the ball. You punt the ball away, or maybe fake punt, you don't know, but they punt the ball away. Abel can kick it pretty well. You try and stick them back and try and hold them back there. I have no problem with this philosophy. And it's a nice kick. Coming up and getting it, his knee touches the ground, and it'll be stopped there at about the 22, 23-yard line. So they put him back, not as far as they would like to have, but again, if they don't make that fourth down, and yeah, you can say, well, that's a loser's philosophy possibly, but if they don't make that fourth down, West has got the ball at 3 minutes and 24 seconds, and instead of having to go 70 yards, they've only got to go about 40 at that point. They're all hopped up, and that's tough.
Yeah, it's a good call. I mean, it's a good, safe call. You're down by 17 points, which is 3 scores. But again, like you're saying, you have a whole second half to play. Don't totally go in the tank, because like you said, you don't make that there. That's a huge momentum, really, in the favor of West, with an opportunity to get a quick score.
Now they have to hold West here. That goes without saying. However, on the first handoff, that is to Scott Warden, and Warden's got about 5.
I don't believe West has had any negative plays from scrimmage. Everything has been plus yardage. East has not had an opportunity to throw him for a loss at all tonight.
And it's a tribute once again to that offensive line of CD West.
Just power football, basic stuff between the tackles, drive to the whistle blows, and let the backs run hard and get what they can.
And the officials again were having a little problem. Again, I think it's Acker. Acker is having all sorts of problems with his shoulder pads. At halftime, he's probably going to have to get a new set on. I think that's Acker. It's twice they've worked on it.
Some of the guys in there on defense, maybe we haven't mentioned tonight, 99, Derek Ray. He's had a few good tackles tonight. We've talked about Lavinia. He's had some real nice plays on defense. Mark Notwick, 28. He's made some plays. Ryan Linghamley over there, the other cornerback, doing a nice job. We talked about the linemen, 67 and 68. Umbrell and Toka, all those guys fighting hard, trying to get some penetration into that West backfield. So far, haven't had a lot of success.
All right. Now we have a flag down. And let's see what we've got here. A little bit of meeting and greeting while I'm here.
Full start, offense.
And that's probably the first negative thing that's happened to West tonight. And I'll tell you, East is going to take that penalty. They're going to accept that penalty. Obviously, they don't have a choice, but that's a big play for them tonight.
Now, I will tell you right now, if I'm the defensive coordinator, I will say one thing, 2 words: watch Potter. He has been dangerous here on the option. Full house backfield, power eye. Pitch goes to Ortiz. He's got the yardage, he's got the first down.
Tell you, there's a lot of blue shirts down on the ground. That means the white shirts are knocking them down. They just get out there. Potter does a nice job quick, reads the end, pitches to Ortiz. A burst up the field by Ortiz, and he's got the first down. And again, even after that penalty, you think, okay, East has grabbed back a little momentum. Maybe they're going to be able to play off of that. But West comes right back at him and gets a first down.
And made it look easy.
Made it look very easy.
That's scary. That's real scary. 1:55 to go in the first half. West has the ball at their own 35-yard line. You got to think they've got to put the ball in the air sooner or later. They've only thrown one pass. It has been completed. A little confusion in the backfield. Split backfield right now behind Corey Potter. Potter, play action. Back to pass. Now he's got to run a little bit. He's going to move. He has nowhere to go, and still gets a little bit of positive yards. Looks like he's going to be sacked. He's got about an inch.
What great poise on his part. He's trying to get the ball deep to the split end. The safety for East, Scott, does a great job. As long as the quarterback has the ball, you get deep. Brian Scott was as deep as anybody in the field, but here's the poise of Potter. He has the poise to say to himself, I don't have a play. He eats it, and he still gets something out of it. Here he's going back, belly to Armstrong. 5-step drop. He's going to set.
Look how much time he has.
A lot of time. He's sitting there. He's trying to read that safety. Nothing there. There's his poise. Puts it in. Says, I'm going to see what I can get out of it. And he gets a couple.
Now he'll roll to the left. He looks. He's got a man. Is it too long? Yeah. It was. He had him out there. Ortiz was out, and he was in the seam of the zone, and he just put it a little bit too far for him. So it'll make it fourth down and. East, make it third down. I beg your pardon. 3rd down and 8. East is doing the job so far, but they got a break on that.
I'll tell you, yeah, we're a couple looks across the booth here to that, right on that play. He hits Ortiz in stride on that play. It's a
Big
touchdown.
game.
There was nobody between him and Ortiz in the end zone. Luckily for East, Corey Potter's just not able to get it to him. And a big break for East.
51 seconds to go in the half. Ball out through the 37-yard line. 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Man in motion. It is Potter. He rolls left. He's looking. Now he's going to run the ball. He's got about 3-4 yards, and he's brought down an East. Well, hold here, and a big defensive series for CB East. They got a break on the pass that went awry, but the tackle on the play was by Colby Umbrell, who made the nice play around the end. And West, for the first time tonight, I do believe will have to punt the ball there. 4th and about 4.
Colby Umbrell, great job, great lateral movement, able to pursue down the line of scrimmage, fight off a couple West guys as he goes, and is able to get Corey Potter before he's able to break up into that seam and get big yardage and possibly a 1st down. And a first for CB East tonight. They held West, and as you said, it's going to be their first punt.
And with 3 seconds to go in the half, West is called for delay of game, and you wonder, I don't think they will punt the ball. I think they'll run it here.
Absolutely. Do not kick the ball to Brian Scott. They have all the time in the world, even here if they decide to go for it, okay? The clock's going to run out.
Well, if they go for it, they're going to try some wide running play. They're going to stop shy of these sticks. By the time they go down, it's going to take 3 seconds to run the ball.
What I would do here, Bob, is I'd run a regular play, maybe a pass for Corey Potter. Like you said, even if it's a long play, he rolls out. Try to get positive yards out of it if you can.
Yeah, your point's well taken.
Just run a normal play, because you're only going to get one play. Don't kick the ball to Brian Scott, because he can quickly.
Well, there's too many things that can happen on a kick. A bad snap. Yeah, now time will run out on that. A block punt, but they can pick it up and take it in for a touchdown. They get the ball to Scott. So I think they're just going to go under center. They're going to run some type of wide play to the right side. They're going to carry the ball. By the time the pile is taken care of, or they'll give it to Armstrong, let him muscle, and then they'll go into the halftime, because they only have 3 seconds, as I say. On East side, as soon as they hear the whistle blow, they got to go like timeout right away, go for one quick one. And they are coming up to the line of scrimmage, and they do have the split backfield. And now East is going to call it. You'd think this was a tie ball game at the end of the regulation. So East will call a timeout. So it's 3 seconds to go. You go back and forth and back and forth. Now I've got Greg Betts is doing the game for one of the local radio stations, looking at me and shaking his head. He doesn't know why, but hey, I'm sure Larry's got a method to his madness here.
Well, I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to give his team any kind of edge he can at this point. He's down 3 scores. Anything he can think of to try to distract West, he's going to try to do it.
One thing he's also probably telling him is, look, when you tackle, as soon as you tackle him, come up with a timeout signal. If we can get it with 1 second to go, we can go. We're close enough, we can go for a Hail Mary here. Ah,
hey.
There we are. Got my golf shirt on. Gee, it makes me want to wish I played golf, you know?
Good day for golf.
There you go. Well, yeah, it was a real good day for swimming underwater. So, here we are. Now, I got to run a play here because neither team can call a timeout at this point. It'll be 4th down and about 5. Now, what East has to be careful about also is they don't break it out in the secondary, too. And it is a wide play, and that'll do it for the half as Potter will carry it. He'll get some yardage, but the half has come to an end. Started out well for East as they took the opening kickoff, recovered a squib kick and took it in for 3 points, but it's been all Bucks since then. The teams go to the locker room. It's CB West 20, CB East 3. We'll take a break and be right back.
Do you have exercise-related foot and ankle injuries? Foot injuries affect the knee and various parts of the body, so why not let the doctors of Buckingham Foot and Ankle Center help you? Dr. Michael Greenberg and Dr. Maurice Levy have over 40 years combined experience participating and treating athletes like you. Buckingham Foot and Ankle provides foot care for people of all ages, from pediatrics to geriatrics, including diabetic, sports medicine, general podiatry, laser surgery, and wound care. Don't suffer another day. Come visit our conveniently located facility. Call 489-5100.
Would you like a better paying job? Professional Career Development Institute can train you at home in just a few months for one of America's 15 top career opportunities. Whether your dream is to be your own boss or to work for an employer, call for free literature on any one of America's top career choices. Train at home for the job you've always wanted and earn this nationally recognized diploma. Take a look at PCDI's exciting career opportunities.
Medical transcription, paralegal, veterinary assistant, computer training, fitness and nutrition, interior decorating, electrician, child daycare, conservation outdoors, travel agent, locksmithing, medical dental office assistant, home inspection, bookkeeping, accounting, or get your high school diploma.
Call for free literature on the career of your choice.
In the U.S. and Canada, call 1-800-494-9732. Get free literature on one of these 15 careers. That's 1-800-494-9732. Earn more money. Call 1-800-494-9732. Call now.
It is homecoming here at War Memorial Field for Central Bucks East as we are at halftime of the Central Bucks East, Central Bucks West football game. The game, as always. Bob Friedman along with Tommy White, the East cheerleaders entertaining the crowd as the West band is about to play. Tom, the stats have been all CB West. Tom McKenna good enough to keep stats for us tonight. Let's talk a little bit about those stats. They tell the whole story.
Well, the thing is, all the names on the list which dominate CB West. I see a name Armstrong, I see a name Ortiz. Armstrong 16 for 81, Ortiz 5 for 38, Potter 8 for 71. You had Warden in there 2 for 12. 202 yards, but the names that aren't on there are the names of Velitis, of Dumrod, the Wilson brothers, the Ben Carvers, and we keep talking about this offensive line. What a great job they've done, but it has just been total domination, if you ask me, in the first half. CB West. East has done a great job to hang in there to keep the score relatively close, but it's been all CB West. Brian Scott's had a few big runs, but other than that, it's really been a dominating game.
Well, East kicked off, as you say, kicked the squib kick, got the big break when the ball hit the helmet of the West player, came right back to East. They get the ball. Scott has a couple of big runs. They ran some formations that West was not familiar with. Scott's got some big yardage, and then when they got inside the 15-yard line, suddenly West said, that's about as far as you're going to go, guys. So they went to Becker, who booted a 35-yarder through, and it was 3-0. Now the problems began for East because, see, in football, once you score, you usually have to give up the ball, and the other team gets to run it. And the problem here is that West just was virtually unstoppable. They did not punt in the first half at all, although they were 4th down at the end of the first half. They didn't have to punt. They didn't come close. Every time they got the ball, the drives, they had a 58-yard drive, they had a 60-some-yard drive, and there were no big runs in there. There were no 30-yard runs, but they were all 5, 8, 10, 11. I think the longest run we had was for 14 yards in the first half.
By Potter on the first score, exactly. And you know what? It's been really kind of fun to watch West, because except for that one motion penalty that they have, they've been error-free. They've executed offensively, defensively, and it's just been a kind of joy to watch as football junkies that we are, to come in here and watch CB West in all the years that we watched them and see the execution. It's kind of fun. I was saying to somebody earlier in the week, it's almost like it's one thing you can count on in life to have CB West have good football teams. It's just year in and year out. They're good. Yeah. Death and taxes and good CB West football teams.
Well, yeah, as I say, when I said it to tease at the beginning, this is the 29th renewal. A lot of things have changed. The one constant has been Mike Pettin. Mike Pettin has been walking the sidelines. This is the 29th time he's out there for this game. And the thing about it is he has built a program here that other schools want to model themselves after. The latest school to want to model themselves after it, North Penn. And what better way to do it? Get Junior involved.
And, you know, that's going to be interesting. And you and I have talked about it. We talked about the weight program in the first half. That same thing will be instilled there in North Penn, and you can bet in the next couple of years you'll see the difference in the teams that are there with the strength and the conditioning. And everybody wants to know what the secret is. The secret is it's fundamentals. You coach the little things, and you coach the little things August 15th. And they start August 15th, and they coach them, and they rep them all the time. And then you have the weight program to add on to it, and those kids are working year-round, and that's the difference.
The one thing I've always said about CB West football, and there was one word that says it, it's precision. It's precision. One that when we were on Sportsline the other week, we had John Price was talking about it, and he said, this is the way they do it. You do it this way. This is how you do it from the time you're 7 years old all the way up. You do it the Pettin way. You do it the CB West way. It's like baseball the Dodger way, football the CB West way. There are schools out there who do not, colleges who do not follow it as well as this high school does. They are a model for doing it. North Penn has built up their program. Why was North Penn called the Comeback Kids this year, with a team that, quite frankly, was at best an average team? Now, the wind has gone a little out of the sails the last couple of weeks, but they really were a team that lost a lot of players off of a not-so-good team last year, and they've won 6 and lost 3 at this point. The 2 games they lost were heartbreakers in the last couple of weeks in the Chamonix and Norristown. And you got to say, and I say it all along, with Pettin Jr. and Dick Beck and that crowd over there, their strength and conditioning better and better each year. One of the big games in Southeast Pennsylvania in years to come is going to be Pettin and Pettin.
You got it. It's going to be fun to watch. But, you know, we come back to this game here in the second half, 20-3 West. East has got to keep their heads up. They got to take what's got them here. You said it earlier, get the ball in the hands of Brian Scott. Hopefully they can have a couple more good defensive stands and try to take the ball away from West. The one thing they haven't had happen for them, which they were hoping for, they got it on the opening kickoff, was a turnover. They're going to need some turnovers and some luck, and maybe some big plays out of Brian Scott to possibly have an opportunity to pull this one out. But I'll tell you what, I give them a lot of credit. These kids from East haven't given up, Bob.
They haven't, and they get the ball to open the second half, and that's where we will be when we come back right after this break. Don't go away. We're only halfway through the game, East-West, and we'll be back.
Now, eliminate the drudgery of no-win workouts
and cut your workout time in half
with a revolutionary fitness flyer from Guthrie Ranker. Other machines can create painful impact on your knees and joints.
But the Fitness Flyer has been biomechanically engineered to work with your body's natural movement.
For a smooth workout that's virtually zero impact. And when you're done,
the Fitness Flyer quickly folds down and rolls away.
For easy storage in a closet or under a bed. Try the Fitness Flyer risk-free for a full 30 days.
For just 4 easy payments of only $49.95. And these special bonuses are yours just for ordering.
Don't walk.
Don't run.
Don't ride.
Just fly with a revolutionary Fitness Flyer.
Call now.
Credit card customers call toll-free. Your Fitness Flyer is backed by a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try the Fitness Flyer in your own home risk-free. Call the toll-free number now.
We are back at War Memorial Field in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Bob Friedman along with Tom White as we have finished one half of play in the game, East versus West. West with a 20-3 lead, but East will be getting the ball.
Clean. Let's keep it that way for the second half. I still wish you both good luck. We still got a ball game here. It's going to be blue, your choice. Want the ball and what goal you guys want to defend. Okay, you want to put your backs that way? Hey, I'll use you. I've never used a guy at crutches.
CBS would like to thank the free feature of
Manny's Tobaccos.
our athletic program and for providing the megaphone.
Yes, he used him for the time. So we have a first here. The referee using a man on crutches to designate and Manny walking off the field. Of course, Manny would much rather be involved in the game in a more be involved much more in the game, but unfortunately the injury will not allow that. So East will get the ball, and again we will have that exciting kickoff, and it has been exciting. Every kickoff has been an adventure.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. If they kick it this side to this east sideline, they got Bevavino right on the sideline. Then they got LaQuinto, he's next to him, and then Scott. To the other side, we got a guy 83, and that's Ben Adler. Now, Ben's probably not the runner that maybe Bevavino and LaQuinto and Scott is. So I would guess that Wes is going to probably try to go over there to that side.
See, my feeling is you try to kick a ground ball. You make them pick the ball up. You make them go after the ball. You kick it to the side opposite Scott. Of course, Green may have them just do a flip-flop as the ball's about to be kicked. But you try to kick it to the far side, and you try and keep it on the ground instead of putting it high up in the air. Or you got that big hole right in the area there. You try and put it in that hole, squib it over the top.
Do what he did the first time, kick it out of bounds.
Well, they're not going to form. They're just going to kick it straight up, and here it comes. And it does go to Scott at the 10-yard line. He's to the 20, head of steam to the 30. The 35 breaks outside, and he'll be stopped at the 37-yard line. A good return, but it was well defensed.
Number 11 for West, good job. Drew Tillman, their second-string quarterback down there on kickoffs, does a nice job take Brian Scott down.
And it's as if the West coaching staff at halftime said, oh, the heck with it. We're just going to kick it off. If he runs it back, he runs it back. And they told their kickoff team, just hold your lanes. And they did. So, ball at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for CB's. First play of the second half, backs are in the eye. It is Scott at the tailback position, and it is Scott with the ball. He's got a couple. He's got about 5 yards, gets it up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. And this is what they've got to do. They've just got to blow off the ball, give Scott that little bit of a crack, and he can get 4 or 5 yards in every carry.
Yeah, he gets up behind his fullback. Looks like Lavinia is in there at fullback now. And he runs up in there, gets what he can, tries to break it to the outside, but West does a good job to take him down after 5. Now that's...
no, I think Bevavino's in there.
Yeah, Lavinia's playing tight end, and Bevavino's in there along with, I think that's R.J. White.
Yeah, power eye. 2nd and 5. It is a handoff. It is to Scott. He's got the first down. He carries it up in midfield. And again, they just run simple plays. They want to get positive yardage. They've got to get something positive going. They had a great start to the game, moved the ball, and then it just sort of all stalled on them. Now they need to get back to this. West, on the other hand, knows if they can stick Scott once, it puts them in the hole. The problem with the East is they have got to get big positive yardage in just about every play.
Well, good job. They come out here 2 plays, first down. They only had 2 first downs in the first half to West's 11, so they got a good
Both
stop.
on the first series, I might add. Power eye. Handoff, it's going to have some trouble in the backfield. He spins around, he'll lose yardage. He did a lot to lose to. But again, that was a case of West just pushing the blockers into the backfield. Brian Scott had nowhere to go.
I'll tell you, Scott made yardage. He's going to lose 2, but he could have lost 4 or 5. He gets the extra yardage. Great hats on the ball again by West. Kinzel there, Titus there, and really punished him into the sideline. Looking to come back. Looked like they tried to have like kind of a counter draw play to Scott that time, and West was all over it.
By the way, the wind has picked up substantially, and it is in East's face right now. Second down, about 11 after the loss of 1 on that carry. Again, a wing backfield, and we're going to have movement on East, and it's going to take them back 5, and this is what kills you.
Yeah, because you get first down, you run a play, maybe a counter doesn't work, and now you're going to get motion most likely.
All right, dead ball, false start, offense.
And that's
now
what it is. So now,
yeah, instead of being 2nd and 12, it's 2nd and 17. You haven't had a lot of success.
Repeat second down.
All night, and now you put yourself in a hole. Not good.
no, and that's your problem. Now, Scott, they can do a lot of different things. Because Scott can't, now he comes out slotted to the left side. Let's see if they motion him or they just go into a straight passing pattern. It is a shotgun, so it's obviously a pass situation. But he runs the ball on a quarterback draw. He's got some nice yardage. Got caught behind his blocker. Otherwise, he would have had much more yardage. He gets back past the original line of scrimmage, so it makes it a very makeable 3rd and 9.
Very good call. They kind of got West off balance on that. They haven't seen Habel really run the ball, and he did a nice job to get in there behind his fullback. Now watch this. It looks like pass. He looks upfield a little bit, and he's running all the way here. Tucks the ball away. He's going to get behind Bevavino. You see Bevavino right in front of him, clearing away. Also there, 75, doing a nice job. Marini, and Habel gets it back to a doable 3rd down.
Back to pass, Habel. Over the middle, intercepted. Intercepted. Let's see who it was.
That's 44 Shackelford.
Yeah, that's Shackelford on the interception, and he threw right there into coverage. I don't think he ever saw Shackelford.
Shackleton, is it? Jack Shackleton. Jack Shackleton. That's a mouthful. He does a good job. He sits back in his coverage. They try to run Scott as we get the end of it there, just on a slant pattern. Shackleton stayed back as the ball's thrown. He breaks on it, is able to pick it off. He falls down. He doesn't fall down. It could be 6.
That's right. He was going forward. He was losing his balance as he intercepted the ball. And so East, after moving the ball, again, shoots himself in the foot with the penalty, has to get themselves in a passing situation. Habel throws the interception. Backs are in the eye. The handoff goes to Warden. Warden's got 5. He's got 10. He's got 15. 1 man to beat, and a touchdown saving tackle down at the 34-yard line. Otherwise, Scott Warden is gone.
Yeah, Brian Scott does a nice job, and Warden's almost able to spin out of it. Scott comes up, wraps the arms, takes him down. But I'll tell you what, that turnover really hurts East now. West back with momentum, driving, big run, 1st down. And East gotta have a big play defensively. Gotta have a turnover.
They gotta start taking some chances.
Yeah.
They got to take chances now.
You gotta stunt some of those linebackers, get them up in the gaps, maybe force somebody to drop the ball, fumble the ball.
Handoff goes to Armstrong. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's got 15 in there, tearing off huge chunks, and that was right up the gut.
Yeah, right up behind the center, Velitis. Just power football, give him the ball. Dave does a great job. You see those ball balloons getting away to just stay right behind that offensive line and get what he can.
Much like the game may be starting to get away from the red, white, and blue at this moment. They have to stop them here. And so far, 2 plays, 28 yards. All on the ground. 1st and 10, backs are split. Wing to the right side. Quarterback, Corey Potter. Potter keeps the ball. Throws a little pass, complete. I believe that's Ortiz. See who it is.
That's
And
Warden.
it's Warden on the catch, so he'll get about 9. So that's the first. The one positive is they didn't run their third straight first down. I don't think they got a first down. That'll be second and very short. That's the only positive you can take out of it for East, because right now, West is just munching yardage up like it's popcorn.
This is a fun down. 2nd and 1. You have the opportunity maybe to go play action here, put it on a hip, maybe have Potter roll and keep it, or throw off of it. Let's see if they try to have a little fun on this play.
I think you just play it simple. But they don't. They roll to the left. Tommy was right, and he gets in, and he's going to lose yardage.
No, he's not. He breaks away. He's going to score. Corey Potter. It looked like he was going to be caught in the backfield.
He wrestled away from the tackle. It looked like a loss for sure, and instead it's a touchdown for Central Box West. A great run by Corey Potter, who so far is the player of the game.
He's had a great night. It was as funny as we see the play. It was almost like a East player turned him around and said, "Wait a second, Corey, you're going the wrong way." He actually got a piece of his shoulder pad, turned him around, didn't make the tackle, and Corey had a straight line for the end zone touchdown. Great heads up.
Patterson for the extra point. Long enough, straight enough, and it is good. So it's 27-3, and that quickly West goes in.
Here's the replay. Let's watch this now. He rolls, he's looking for a guy streaking over the middle, tries to set, he says, I don't have any room, tries to go. Now watch this, 68 spins him around, says, wait a second, you're going the wrong direction. He says, okay, I'll go this way. Nobody's there, touchdown, CB West.
And
great poise.
More than anything else, it's great poise, but it's also luck. He was faced in the right direction. He came out facing in the direction where there was nothing but pay dirt ahead of him. If he's facing the other way, he's a dead man.
Scott Toka's 68, gets him by the shoulder pads, does a 360 with him, isn't able to bring him down. When he lets go of the pads, there he is. He's got a straight line for the end zone, runs it in. And, as you said, we watched those balloons kind of sail off into the night, the red, white, and blue balloons.
And now,
27-3, a lot of time in the second half, but a huge mountain for the
And now you got to see,
Patriots.
let's see who's kicking off for it. It's a different kicker for West. No, it's still Patterson. But the point is, now they're just going to kick it away. If Scott returns it, Scott returns it. And they do what they kick a squibber, and it's taken by an up back up at around the 30-yard line. He's out to the 35 to the 40. A nice run back to about the 44-yard line. And number 41, that was Frank LaQuanti. So they did kick the squibber, but LaQuanti did a nice job picking it up. Once he caught the ball, he had about 15 yards of running room before a West player would get to him. And he made the most of it, so they get it out to about the 43-yard line. And East will take over there. And again, every down now is a must-do down. They can't fool around here. They're down 27-3, 7:41 to go in the third quarter. A little confusion right now. I think the officials are trying to, what the story is a delay. They're conferring about something. Seem to have gotten it squared away. So East will come up to the line. Again, no one in the backfield, only quarterback Abel. Scott is slotted out to the left side. Now he goes in motion. And he'll play action. Abel. He's throwing downfield for Scott. Does Scott catch it? No, they're going to say it's incomplete. He caught it, but then he juggled it as he was going out of bounds, and the ball is incomplete. Abel threw it into a bit of coverage. Scott would have had to be a miracle man to come down with it. He did come down with it, but he came down out of bounds. See it again.
Yeah, rolls right, turns back. He's trying to get Scott to free up the sideline, but watch all the white and gold helmets in this play. A lot of people on the ball. Scott goes up highest point, but you can see right there, he's off the field. Even if he catches it, he's going to be out of bounds.
Great athletic play nonetheless. To come down with that ball, he did drop it. He had it knocked away, but now the backs are in the eyes. 2nd and 10. Strong side left. Abel, fake counter. He'll roll to the left, and he's in big trouble. Tries to get to the outside. Now he's got the corner turn, and they'll turn it into about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Nice play by Abel because he was under all sorts of pressure there. He gets about 2 on it, but looked for all the world like he was going to get buried in the backfield.
Yeah,
Good speed.
Did a nice job to get outside containment. He got 2, but he really ran 32 because he started out on this hash mark, and the field's 50 yards wide, so he ran a good 25, 30 yards and only gets 2 yards out of it. But here they are, they're third and 8, a long 8, and it's a doable 3rd down.
And I think the problem also is the running plays that are slow to develop. You know, with Scott, you want to try to bang, boom, hit the line, hit the hole, do it quickly. And they're trying some of these slow development plays, and you're giving West a bit of a break. Now, again, shotgun formation, back to pass. It's under pressure, and his arm is hit. It was going forward, so it'll be an incomplete pass. But again, tremendous pressure by CB West, and East will have to punt the ball away.
Greg Ward, defensive end, he comes in hard. Again, it's the little things. Justin Hable goes back to pass. He's just able to throw. Ward's not quite to him. He knows, look, the only thing I can do now is get off my feet, get my hands up in the air, try to make a play. He does that, he gets a piece of it. Lucky for East, there isn't a guy there playing tip drill to catch that ball and take it the other way. But they're going to have to give it up and give it back to that machine.
Hable back to punt. He'll be punting into a pretty good wind right now. And they put the big rush on, and they almost got to it. And the kick is off the side of the foot, way out of bounds. To see where they mark it, they're going to get a real good position. Walking up over the 35 to the 40-yard line. Oh, baby, they're going to get it right about the 39-yard line. So a real short punt as the pressure was there from CB West. Hable got it off the side of the foot. It goes out, and West will get great field position right out at their own 40-yard line. As if they needed it.
On a 38-yard line, West takes over, 1st down and 10.
27-3, 7:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now, I'm just looking, the clock is really moving slowly because actually they scored with 7:47. Would that be true that they had, unless I'm missing some of the clock, only 30 seconds have run off that clock? Keep an eye on that clock, see if it's running properly. The pitch goes back to Ortiz, and Ortiz has got 5 or 6. That clock is running 5. It's just a passing play, and then so they're quick plays, so they weren't able. The clock did not move much. So just under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 6-yard gain on the run, though, Tom, and again, big positive yardage.
They had him in the backfield. A couple guys hands on him, just not able to get him. Ortiz, again, that conditioning, that strength in the legs, able to break the tackle, get upfield, get the extra yards. Big play on 1st down, good 6 yards. And now West, here's another fun down. You're 2nd and 4, you got an opportunity. Play action pass, perhaps, and maybe get somebody streaking down the field.
Now a little bit of confusion here. They're going to get the play off, and they don't. They don't. It's going to be a delay game. And even with the big lead, you look at Mike Pettin on the sideline, you're going to see a very unhappy man. He doesn't like to see this happen. There was confusion. He does not like to give up yardage without the ball being snapped. There's a dead ball, delay a game.
Offense. 2nd down.
Well, to see Mike Pettin on the other side, you're going to see Pettin and Carey both very unhappy.
And there they are right there. There's Dan Carey and Mike Carey in the gold, and the other coach. There's Mike Pettin to the right of Dan Carey. I'll tell you what, they don't like to have penalties. It really drives them not
2nd and 9, and the handoff goes to Armstrong. Armstrong's got the penalty yardage back, and he stretches and will get about 6 back, make it a very makeable 3rd and about 3.
Number 52 in the play.
You got to be frustrated if you're CBE. You get the penalty yardage, just hand it off, and they boom, they get it right back.
Yeah, and that's what happened. I started to say the only 2 really negative yards that East has had against them, as you see an East helmet on its side, some guy leaning on it, has been on penalties. And right after the penalty, when they got a little defensive momentum, bam, West gets the yards back.
So it's 3rd and 3, long 2 actually. Backs are split, wing to the right. Handoff goes, getting the 1st down, and then a little bit more is Dave Armstrong. Armstrong gets it up to midfield. It'll be a 1st down for CB West.
Now West, I think they're content. They're up.
I hate to say it.
They're up 4 scores. Possibly here they can drive down and punch another one in. You might see a lot of.
And I hate to say it, but it's not a case of how or what, but how much it gets played. I mean, West really has this game under thorough control. They put it under wraps with the early score in this quarter, and they got the ball again. East has not had an answer since early in the game. Potter with that little counter, spin move and getting some good yardage, about 5 or 6 yards on first down. Let's see who that is. Is that Ortiz?
Lavinia on the tackle. He's had a nice defensive game for East. He's playing right in the middle linebacker and has done a good job. He's the guy that's making that hit 4 or 5 yards down the field. If he gets any kind of penetration or line play, he might be able to make the plays at 2 yards. But right now, that line surge is just so great.
It's just dominating. Dominating line surge. I mean, the East line is just being swallowed. Second down, 5. Ball now at the 45-yard line of East. Play action. Potter doesn't see anything, so he'll run. And finally, we have a no gain on the play. Potter had there was good defensive coverage as they were trying play action. East didn't bite on the play action, and Potter had nowhere to go, so he will actually lose a half yard. That's the first negative yardage non-penalty of this game.
Lavinia and Acker on the play. West is going to call a timeout here at the 4:05 mark, up 27-3. And I'll tell you what, this is a very big down for East, momentum-wise. If they can hold them here, maybe get the ball back, not give up the score, maybe a moral victory.
But a great timeout by Patton and his crew. What they see there is the past couple plays they've seen some confusion, a penalty. On that play they saw a breakdown in the line, and they do not want complacency to take over here. They got a team that they got down by 24 points, who knows just as easily could score quickly. Have something happen with Brian Scott there. You never know. He's one step away from scoring every time he touches the ball. So they wants to make sure that they are still all on the same page. This is a 3rd and 5. They lost yardage on that because there was confusion on the offensive line. Blocking assignments were missed. Now they got to sit there. He's going to say, look, let's all get on the same page. 3rd and 5. Let's make it happen. Let's get this ball into the end zone, and then we can worry about what goes on beyond here.
Yeah, West wants to get another score. I think it's important for him, you know, just in the scheme of the whole district playoff, really a convincing win for them. They put it in here. You'll see some nice white shirts out there after that.
Single setback, back to pass is Potter. Potter looks, throws it underneath the Titus and threw it too hard.
What a stick by Troy Lavinia, though. This kid has played a great game in there at linebacker. The guy for West tries to sneak over the middle, and just as the ball arrives, so does Troy Lavinia. Sticks him, separates him from the ball, and East hauls. That's a great job.
That is a big job by East. A good job by East as they take advantage. They make the defensive plays, and now with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, they have an opportunity. It's back to punt for the first time in this game is CB West.
Number 39, Mike Taylor, formation.
And of course, Scott is back there.
And Jarrett for CB West.
Jarrett gets a punt. Oh, beauty. What a beautiful fair catch call for the ball. Bounces into the end zone now. And out of the end zone. Big punt. And again, you got the wind to your back. If you look at the flag, then we get a shot of the flag. That was down, just dead down at the beginning of the game, and now you can see it is blowing all over the place. There it is. The wind has picked up substantially. They said it was going to get windy tonight. It does 2 things. 1, it will dry out the field. 2, it's going to create havoc for the team that's going into it because it is a wind that's right in CB East's face right now. As if they didn't have enough problems. They're staring into the teeth of a wind that right now is about 25 miles an hour. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Backs in the eye. Hable, the quarterback. Tailback, of course, is the ever-dangerous Brian Scott. But the handoff goes underneath and carrying it for good yardage and a nice stick. But carrying it for good yardage before he's finally brought down on the play was Tony Bevavino, another guy who's played a real nice ball game.
You know what? It's interesting. He had a run like that early in the game. and they haven't gone back to it. He is a fast kid. I saw him play as a sophomore. He was actually the quarterback. Here he just gets into the line of scrimmage. Watch this hit at the end. You're going to love it. Right there, stand him up. That's
Potter.
23.
Was that Potter?
It's either Potter or Kinzel. I think it was Potter. Great stick. You got to love it. And again, there's that strength training makes a difference.
Power eye. Scott dances, and you don't dance against CB West. They give negative yardage. Some stats in the first half we didn't go over. East in the first half, 27 yards for Brian Scott. The rest of the team had no more than 7 yards, as they only had 36 total yards rushing.
Sportsmanlike conduct.
And here's frustration. Frustration starting to set in, so that's really what's coming down here. But in the first half, Armstrong had 16 carries for 81 yards, Potter 71 yards, Ortiz 38, Warden 12, 202 yards in the first half, and they have...
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, blue. It's going to be...
And what's happened is, in the second half, they just continued that. They, of course, take the ball down the field. Armstrong well over 100 yards at this point. And the frustration's starting to come in. You don't know who the unsportsmanlike conduct was on, but at this point, they're down 24 points. They're not moving the ball well, and frustration does tend to start to set in here. So now, to make life worse, it is 3rd down and 17 with the penalty. Man in motion. Handoff underneath to Bevavino. He won't get much, so now they have to kick into the teeth of a tough win. 4th down. Hable, and you got to wonder if they won't just come in all the trying to really blow in on Hable.
Tackle made by number 9, Brian
We have 2:20 to go in the 3rd quarter, 27-3. Oh, look at the scoreboard. They've given East a free 10 points.
Number 25, deep for CB West.
How about
Justin
that?
Hable in punt formation for the Patriots.
So the scoreboard operator needs to work on it. It's 27-3, not 27-13. Punt is away. It's going to be a short one. They'll let it bounce. It takes an east bounce, so a nice punt by Hable gets it out over the 45-yard line.
Hable's kick down by number 3 for the Patriots, Jake Walker.
Much to Tom's chagrin.
Takes over, 1st down and 10.
Well, it was interesting as he was rolling the clock. It went from 13 to 23 to 53. So they're actually ahead for a second. And then it went back to
You really
3.
go for the little victories, don't you?
Gotta have fun.
Hey, that's the name of the game. West with the ball. First team still in. Ball inside the 45-yard line. Backs are split. Delayed handoff goes to Ortiz. He's got 5 before being tripped up, and he doesn't get tripped up. He's got about 20 because there's nobody beyond there until you got deep in the backfield. So Chris Ortiz will get a gain. They'll move it back a gain of 4, make it 2nd down and 6.
3-yard gain, 2nd down, 7.
Ball resting just at the 40-yard line. They need to get to the 34 for the 1st down. Backs are in the eye now. Up back is Armstrong. Almost jumping off was East, but they get back on. Oh, and a blown play there, and Potter's going to lose yardage. And again, Pettin is not going to be happy with that.
Lavinia, there he is, 42. Troy Lavinia having a big night. Lavinia, I believe, is only a junior, Bob. 6'2", 215, 11th grader. Actually, interesting story about Troy Lavinia. His dad, John Lavinia, was one of the coaches at East in the early days of East football. John did a great job with the kids, eventually got out of coaching. I believe he's a arts teacher in the Central Bucks School District. He's probably proud of his kid tonight, having a big night.
There's a good reason to be proud. He's played a fine ball game. Single setback, wing to, double wing to the right side. Back to pass, Potter. Rolls to the right. He looks, he pumps, he throws. Intercepted. Intercepted by CDs. So East, let's see who's got that interception. It appears to be number 12.
Steve Kreider.
Steve Kreider on the interception. So Steve Kreider, Dad's got to be proud right now.
Yeah, that's great. All he does there is he was kind of hidden. I don't think Corey Potter ever saw him. He just slid into that pattern, catches the ball, does a nice job, brings it back, and that's a shot in the arm for East. They haven't given up, and here they got an opportunity. They got to make a couple big plays.
We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's let him run this play, because something interesting for the the person who's a casual observer of football, a question might come up. Backs in the eye. And back, on a blitz coming through. Is that Dave Titus? No, it's number 74. That wasn't a blitz. That was just good pursuit by Jeff Cahill.
I think somebody just flat out missed a block.
That's right.
He came straight up the field hard. It didn't look like anybody blocked him. He just takes Habel down.
And the third quarter has come to an end as Habel is going to be talking to Larry Green. We're going to take a break. Fourth quarter just about to get underway. Don't go away. You see the score. We'll be right back.
Jewelry is a gift from the heart. And for years, Gem Jewelers' professional staff has been at the heart of the matter with quality engagement rings, wedding bands, and diamond anniversary rings. Inside our beautiful showroom, you'll find the largest selection and the best values to make your special day or any occasion a treasure you'll remember forever. Plus, Gem Jewelers' gemologist is always on hand to ensure the quality of your diamonds and gemstones. Gem Jewelers, the heart of jewelry, on Route 611 at Bristol Road, Warrington.
Well, you're looking at the view through a CBE's player's helmet right now, and the view is not a good one as they trail 27-3 as we enter the fourth quarter. Bob Friedman along with Tom White here at the annual CBE CB West extravaganza. A beautiful night for football it's turned out to be. East just had a big sack by West, and they hand the ball off to Scott. Scott gets the lost yardage up and then some. Brian Scott breaks it away. You just got a feeling sooner or later he's going to bust one open. He has been about a step away a couple of times, and I'll tell you, if they give him a crock, he'll get 10.
I'll tell you what, the West guys, their jerseys get dirty. It's tough to read the numbers. Somebody comes up from their safety spot and really delivers a blow. Scott, though, big run on second down. And they got a doable third down here.
Third down and about 6 right now. Trying to capitalize on a big interception by Kreider. Backs are in the eye. And West jumps off, and I'll tell you, I got to take a look for Carey. Carey's got to be talking to himself. I'll tell you one thing, paint will peel in that locker room. At the end, not after this game, but during practice this week. One thing John Price said,
ball foul, encroachment,
is when there's a lot of lack of discipline, is that the players really don't want to go to practice the following week, especially with playoffs coming up. Mike Carey just looking around, and you know, you want Mike yelling a lot, because when Mike is standing there silent with it,
encroachment, defense,
and when Carey's sitting there just with that look on his face, you don't want to go near him at that point. Mike knows what championships are about. He not only was played for the West, but he was captain of the national championship Pitt Panthers. I hate to say that being a Penn Stater, but you know, hey, it's been years. Great team though, was a great team. So on third and short, Habel calls his own number and he gets the first down.
Good job, good call. You're just going power football, trying to drive the defensive line for West off the ball.
Chris Young did a nice job pushing his man off the ball. He followed Young and the center up and get the first down. So East again has an opportunity. Not going to say they're going to come back and win this game, but they have a chance that, you know, little victories, winning a quarter, winning a series, doing what you've got to do here. Backs are in the eye behind Habel. 27-3. West comfortably in control right now. And the handoff goes to Scott. Oh, and he's buried on a great stick by number 33. That's Dustin Picciotti. I believe we had another Picciotti. Paul played for West, but this is Dustin Picciotti comes up.
Along with Buckley. Watch the backside. Buckley, number 9. He's the downside defensive lineman. East is pulling out of there, and they teach you to follow. Here he comes from behind. See number 9? He follows as the guy pulls out of there, is able to get him down. Justin Picciotti comes in to help. Justin Piccioti's a sophomore, Bob, and he's listed in the program 6'3", 220 sophomore. You're going to hear about a lot. You're going to hear a lot about Picciotti in the years to come.
No gain on the play, make it 2nd and 10. The pitch, and let's see if he's going to throw the ball. He is. He's deep. He's going to throw it into coverage, and the ball falls incomplete. An ill-advised pass. West had 3 men on the intended receiver. They only sent 1 man out into the deep area, and West defensed that absolutely perfectly. It was intended for Rob Linders. He never had a shot.
Yeah, again, they tell the safety, as long as the quarterback, in this case it's a running back, has the ball, you get deep. The safety just drops. By the time the guy gets out there to throw the ball, the safety's 5 to 7 yards deeper than the receiver. You throw the ball up, you got a chance of getting it picked. There they get lucky, and they got a 3rd and 10.
Scott is slotted to the right side. Hable under center, but no one in the backfield. Straight back to pass is Hable. Throws it behind his intended receiver. That again was Linders, and we'll have a 4th down and 10. And at this point, you just got to go. I'd say you got to go for it.
Yeah, Shackleton, the linebacker, he's pursuing. He's flowing to the outside. Hable tries to throw it. He actually looks like he gets a little piece on it, deflects it away. West does a good job to hold here. Going to get the ball back. Looks like they're going to kick it, Bob.
Well, Larry Green has decided he'll use the wind to his advantage now. Hable back at his own 40-yard line. We'll kick it. High snap. Oh, Hable did a nice job to get it, and he'll kick it away. Ball takes a good roll for East. It'll fall dead at the 21-yard line, but Hable did quite a job to even get close to the ball. It was a very high snap. He held on to it, and with a wet ball, that's tough sometimes. It gets the ball away well. Now it'll be West's ball at about, I said the 20, inside the 15. It's actually down the 11-yard line. Great. So West, with by far the worst field position of the night, will take it over. You got to think they're just going to try and power their way through the way they have the bulk of this game. Starting lineup still in there, understandable, even with a big lead that's deep in their own territory. And we're going to have movement on West, and it'll move them back further. And I'm telling you, Tom, when they talk to Pettin after the game, that's what he's going to talk about. I'm not happy with our lack of discipline. Movement on encroachment. Oh, no, it's on East. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. I thought I saw 2 players move, but there might have been caused by the encroachment of East. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty for.
Repeat, 1st down.
Central box West. They will move the ball up. Tommy, I thought for all the world it was West had jumped.
Just hasn't been East night. West is offensively and defensively been so sound.
Potter with the backs are in the eye. And the pitch goes back to Ortiz. He's got 4. He's got close to the 1st down. He's got the 1st down, I believe, as he's out over the 20 to the 25-yard line. Maybe Warden. It's hard to tell right now. They both have 5. It's hard to tell if it's 25 or 30.
Yeah, their jerseys are really muddy, tough, really tough.
That's Warden. That is Warden on the carry.
East getting some younger kids in the game. We try to keep you up on it. 55 in there for East now playing linebacker. That's Nick Norvellis. He's actually a 200-pound 12th grader. He was starting earlier in the season. I don't know if he's been nicked with injuries or what, but he's in there playing now.
And a quick look-in pass to Dave Armstrong, who lined up split out. And that'll get 5 or 6 yards. So Armstrong shows his versatility as a pass receiver there with a quick look-in pass. Look at him. That looks like a football player.
Well, let me get a shot of that helmet. Look at all the stickers on the helmet. Now you go to that side. There's the axe. The axes. If you get one of those axes, that's like the top award you can get during a week. And you can see Dave's got 3 of them on there. That's a great credit to his ability and his leadership on this team.
Backs are split. Potter on the reverse, cutting it upfield, won't get much. He's had that defense well. It was the reverse handoff, and they didn't get much on the carry.
Third down.
Looked like Topa on the carry is what we hear the announcer say. It was 29. It looked like running the ball.
Hopefully we can get
in the roster.
Mike Pettin and Larry Green after the game on our post-game show, maybe a couple players as well.
Guy Davy Jones, who's the voice of the CB's Patriots, always does a great job year in and year out here as the